Hello viewers, how are you? I hope you are doing well. Today I am going to tell you about a magical command that you have probably been dreaming of forever. Suppose you have thousands of different types of files including videos, audios, images and documents, all randomly dispersed in different folders and subfolders. It is very difficult to search for them and you don't know how to separate specific types of files and move them to your desired destination, organized by date, file type or any other category. You also wish to rename all files in one go with specific words, dates or anything you want. Let's take the first example. You have several files in folders and subfolders. You want to separate them into videos, audios, images and documents and put them in their respective folders. Or you want them organized into folders based on their extensions. For example, all MP4 files in one folder and all JPG files in another folder, and similarly for other files. You may want to separate them based on file types as well as their extension types. Here you have created folders for file types, that is videos, audios and images. Inside each of these folders you have subfolders based on file extensions, and each file is placed in its respective folder. You may want to categorize them year-wise and then into subfolders based on their extensions. There is another possibility that you may need to organize your files based on their month of creation. For example, a video or image created in January will be placed into a folder named January, and other files will be similarly placed in their respective folders. Many people may want some files to be transferred to their own folders, but not all of them. For example, you may not need PNG and WME files moved to your destination folders, but you want other files placed in their file type folders. Some people may only want to separate video files from among all other files and put them into a separate folder called videos. Or maybe you want to categorize them year-wise in subfolders inside the main videos folder. As I mentioned at the beginning, sometimes we have thousands of files and we want to rename all of them according to our own wishes, which is very difficult. The command I am going to show you today will handle this as well. For example, here is a video file with this name and you can rename it like this: year, then month, then extension type, then file type, which is video. You may want to place the month before the year, or perhaps you want the file name to start with the file type and end with the year. You can also add your name or any other name into all of your files. Separator symbols like dashes, underscores or other symbols can be used, or you may want the file names without separators. You can even include the full date, including the year, month and day, in addition to your own category and file type category. You can even change the extension of the file or put your own name as the extension into all of your files. But be careful with this last step. Don't try to change file extensions unless it is a small number of files, so you can revert them back to their original extensions if needed for privacy reasons. To do all these things, I have compiled a code into a function called organize files in Python. This function will do everything I have shown you in the slides. It has several parameters, each with its default values, except for src folder and dest folder, which are the paths to your source folder and the destination folders respectively. It has a total of 11 parameters. Let's see the details of each parameter one by one. Suppose this is our source folder, which has our files, and this is where we want our files to move. Files will be moved from source folder. You would need the path address of the source folder in this format with a single forward slash, although you can also write it with double backward slashes. The third method is to use a single backward slash, but then you would need to add a small r before the source folder address. Dest folder is the place where you want to move your files to. We would also need to specify the path to that folder using the same three methods. Now let's come to this parameter called file types. The default value is an empty string. It specifies which type of files you want to move from the source folder to the destination folder. If its value is an empty string or none, no files will be moved, provided the next parameter, that is extns, also has a none value. If you want to separate videos of all kinds from other types of files and move them to a destination folder, you would type video here. Only videos will be moved, including MP4, AVI, WMV, GIF, FLV, or any other types of videos. If you want to move all the files to the destination folder, then type all here. Sometimes we want to move 2 or 3 different types of files. Then specify them in the form of a list. For example, to move all videos and images, specify them in the form of a list like this. The next parameter is extns. It specifies files with specific extensions to move to the destination folders. Sometimes we do not want all kinds of videos. We may need to move only MP4 videos or MP3 audios. Then use this parameter. The default value is an empty string. If it is empty or has a none value, no files will be moved, provided the file type parameter is also none or empty. Remember, both the file types and extn work in coordination. If you want to move only MP4 files, then its value must be MP4, provided file types is empty. If file type is video, then just typing MP4 will have no effect. You must keep file types empty if you want to move only MP4 videos. If you want to move all the files, its value must be all. Putting all in either or both parameters will move all files. If you need to move MP4, MP3 and JPG files, then use a list. As you can see in the animation, only MP4 and MP3 moved because there are no JPG files in the source folder. Unwanted extensions. Sometimes we want to move all the video files except MP4 or some other extensions. Then you will have to use this parameter. This parameter specifies which types of files you do not want to move to the destination folders. For example, if you want to move all the video files except MP4 files, specify them here. Now it will move all the video files except MP4. If you want to move all the videos except MP4 and all images except PNG, enter the parameter values like these. If you want to replace the extension of your files with specific extensions, these two parameters will be used. The default value of replace extn is false, meaning the extension of files will not be changed. If you want to change the file extensions, set it to true. Be careful if it is true. You must specify the value of replace extension with to the extensions you want to change to. These two parameters work in coordination. It changes file extensions to your desired extensions. If this value is true and the other is empty, your files will lose their extensions. However, if its value is MP4, then all the files will become MP4. You need to be very careful with these two parameters. If its value is Roshan, all files will change their extensions to Roshan. Sometimes you may want to change MP4 extensions to AVI, MP3 extensions to AVI, and PNG to JPG. Then you have to use a dictionary. My categorize. It creates folders with custom names and moves your files based on specified types. The default value is an empty string. If it is empty or none, it means no custom categories are defined. If you want to move MP4 and MP3 files to a folder named Roshan and JPG and AVI files to a folder called Keramat, use a dictionary. Remember, but categories will only work if they are mentioned in the dest path or in the file name. File name part nchar with a default value of 1 specifies the number of characters to take from the beginning of the file name and use them in the dest path or file name. The parameter you will use in the dest path or file name is called file name part. If its value is 1, it will take only the first letter from the file name. For example, from this file, it will take 3 only. By making its value 2, it will take the first 2 letters from your file name, which are 3R. By making it 5, it will take 3 ROSH and 7 will take 3 Roshan. These will then be used to create folders of these names if used in dest path, or they will become part of your file names if used in file name. Now let's come to the actual part of the function, the dest path. It specifies the structure of your destination path. I mean tree of destination folders. It actually creates subfolders inside dest folder with your desired names. If its value is either none or empty, then all the files will be moved to dest folder and no subfolders will be created. If its value is any random name, then a subfolder with that name will be created in destination folder. For example, a subfolder of name Roshan will be created and all files will be moved to that subfolder. If its value is month, then it will create subfolders with month names for the files and will move files to them. For example, pictures or videos made in January will be moved to January subfolders, and those that were taken in February will be moved to the February subfolder. If you want to create subfolder inside the dest path and a subfolder inside the subfolder, then you will have to use list. For example, in this case, it will create years as subfolders inside destination folder. And then in each year folder, it will create subfolders according to the file types. That is, videos will be moved to subfolder videos and images to the images subfolder. Videos taken in 2018 will be moved to this video folder, and videos taken in 2024 will be moved to this subfolder. Same is the case with images or any other file types if available. If your dest path is like this, then it means that subfolders according to the file's creation date year subfolder in dest path will be created. Inside each year folder, subfolders based on files creation dates, months folders will be created. Then inside each month day folders will be created. Inside each day folder, counters will be created. Counter is just a number that counts your files. The first file moved will be called first and second file moved will be called to. Then inside each counter folder, you will have file types folders, that is videos, documents, images and videos, etc. Inside each of these folders, you will have folders named according to the extensions of the files. For example, inside images folders, you will have subfolders called PNG, JPG and BMP, etc. All PNG files will be placed in PNG folder and all JPG files will be placed into JPG subfolder and so on. What you can use in dest path for creating sub and subfolder in dest path, you can type year for creating subfolder with full 4-digit year. For example, 2024. For 2-digit years, just type YR. It will create a folder with just 2-digit year. If you type month, it will create folders with full month name. However, if you want to create folders with month numbers, then type month number. For example, here it will create folder with the name 1. MON will create 3-letter short code for month. For example, for January, it will create JAN named folder. Day will create folders of dates of the months. Weekday creates folders with full weekday names. For example, Friday. However, WKD will create 3-letter code of the weekdays. For example, FRI for Friday. hour will create folder with the hours at which the file was created. For example, an image taken at 12 o'clock, a folder with number 12 will be created. Minute specifies the minutes at which the photo was taken, and same is the case with the seconds. CDate will create folder with full date in this format, and CTime will create folders with full timestamp of the video or image. Counter will create folders according to counting. Extn change, if written inside dest path, it will create a folder of the name with the value specified over here. File type will create subfolder based on the type of file. For example, videos will be moved to videos folders. File name part will work according to this parameter and will create a folder based on the letters taken from the file name. For example, 3 Roshan was the file names. Extension will create folders based on extensions of the files and will move files based on their extensions. For example, MP4 files will be moved to MP4 folder. If you type my category in dest path, it will create subfolders based on the value specified in this parameter. For examples, visit to USA. Also, you can create custom named folder where all your files can be moved. This could be anything you wish to create folders for. This is the last part of the function. It generates your file names. If you want to change your file names, then use this parameter. If its value is either none, original, empty, or no change, then your file's names will remain as original and not changed. The only thing change in file names will be a number added. Each file name at the end is the counter number, which has a purpose. If you type it like this, your new file names will become like this. The file name will be composed of these parts. My category, which will be taken from here. Then it will put a dash. You can specify any separator here. Then it will have a year as its file name part. For example, a picture taken in 2024 will have 2024 in its name. Then again a separator. Then file type as MP4 or videos. That's why videos will become part of each video file. Similarly, all image files will have image written in its name over here. If you type this, then your file name will be like this. 2024 is the year of the video creation. It was January when this video was made. Then I have introduced my own name Roshan in each file. 4 is the date videos was taken on. 3 is the counter. MLV is the new extension. Videos is the file type. 3 ROS or the original file name part. You can use this symbol as a separator also. Then extension, then my category, then again extension change. You can arrange these terms in any order and your file names will be generated according to the order you specify. Now let's take an example. Here is the whole command written. Here is the source folder address. Let's change this thing to source. Here is the destination folder address. Let's type destination over here. Let's type images and videos here because we want to move only images and videos. In addition to videos and images, we also want to move exe files. Type them here. Maybe you do not want to move GIF files. Type them here. Here are the rest of the parameters written. As we do not want to change the extension, therefore this will be false. Even if you don't want to replace extension, you can still have a value here. For example, I wrote here visa. I also want to put MP4 files in a folder called Roshan. So it's a custom named folder. This one means it will take the first letter of each file and will be used as a subfolder name or part of your file name if mentioned in dest path or file name. Here is your tree of folders. First, it will create a folder with the name specified here in my categories. For example, MP4 files will go into folder named Roshan and the rest of the extensions will go into folder named others. Inside those folders, it will create subfolders based on the file types. For example, video folders, audio folders, etc. Then there will be subfolders based on the year the files were created on. For example, files created in 2024 will be put into 2024 folder. Here is the structure of file name. We have a counter in the beginning of the file name, which is just a number. It counts files that are being transferred. The first file transferred will be named 1 and the second file transferred will have 2 in its name. Then it will have a dash as a separator. You can use other symbols as well. Then the file name will have year of its creation as part of file name, then underscore as a separator, then a 3-letter month, for example Jan for January, then a dash, then file type, for example videos will be written in video files and images will be written in image files, then underscore, then extn change will take the name from here, then dash as a separator, then a 3-letter weekday name, for example TUE for Tuesday. Now just hit enter. Your desired files are moved and placed in your desired folders and subfolders with your desired file names. Transfer completed. Now let's check our destination folder. Open it. You have 2 subfolders based on my categories, Roshan and others. Roshan will have MP4 files and the rest of the files will be in the other folders. Inside Roshan folder, you have file type folder. Here we have videos folder. Inside videos folder, you have years folders and the videos made in 2024 are placed in this folder. You can match the file name with the structure of file name you constructed in the file name parameter. It has counter 15, 2024 as year, JUN as month, videos as file type, Monday as weekday, and again counter. This last counter is added by default and it has a purpose. The purpose is that if suppose 2 or more files have identical names, year, day, date, file type, etc. If everything is same, then this counter will make a difference because one file will be transferred before the other one. For example, one will have counter number 15 and the other will have counter number 16. So other files with similar names will have different counter numbers. In the end, let me show you the code I have written to get my objectives. Here is the code. This is the first part. Here is the rest of the code. I have spent several days on creating this code. You can write down this code in your Python and use it for organizing your files. If you have any other suggestion to improve this code or if you want to add some other categories which might not have come to my mind, kindly mention them in the comment section. So it was enough for today. Have a nice coding and bye.